If you're drinking this every morning and wondering why your belly fat won't go away even though you've been cutting calories, I have some not so great news for you. A study from the University of Texas followed over 700 people over 65 years old for nearly 10 years and discovered that those who drank diet soda daily gained waist circumference almost 4 times more than those who didn't drink it. We're talking about 3.16 inches added around your midsection. And this isn't the kind of fat you can see in the mirror, but rather the kind of fat that wraps around your internal organs, the most dangerous type. But this isn't just about diet soda. I've seen hundreds of patients over the past 3 decades who were confident they were doing the right thing by switching to fresh squeezed orange juice in the morning instead of sugary soda, or adding a spoonful of sugar to their coffee to start their day. They walk into my clinic with the same question: why does my waistline keep expanding even though I've been trying to eat healthy? And when I ask them what they drink in the morning, the answer is always the same: a large glass of fresh orange juice, a cup of Frappuccino, or a can of Diet Coke, because they think 0 calories means 0 problems. But here's the biggest issue. These drinks are tricking your body in ways you don't even realize. They spike insulin, disrupt your gut microbiome, and trigger your body to store fat exactly where you don't want it, right around your most vital organs. And the worst part is, you're doing this when your body is most vulnerable, right when you wake up on an empty stomach. If this is your first time on my channel, I'm Dr. Saul Whitman, Chief Medical Officer at Northern Institute for Society Wellness, with over 30 years treating thousands of patients with cardiovascular disease, atherosclerosis, stroke, and hypertension. My channel shares medical knowledge for older adults so you can live confidently as you age. And now, let's dive into the video. Diet soda and artificial sweeteners. Let's start with the biggest culprit: diet soda and any beverage containing artificial sweeteners. I know this sounds crazy because you've been told that if it has no calories, then it can't make you fat, right? But your body isn't a simple calculator. It's far more complex, especially as you get older. When you drink diet soda in the morning, you're starting a chain of biological reactions that will ultimately cause you to store more belly fat, not less. The San Antonio longitudinal study of aging that I mentioned, they tracked nearly 750 people over 65 and found that those who drank diet soda daily gained an average of 3.16 inches in waist circumference over 9 years, while those who didn't drink it only gained 0.80 inches. That's a difference of nearly 2.5 inches, and we're talking about visceral fat, the kind that surrounds your liver, kidneys, and heart. Think of it this way. If your body is a house, subcutaneous fat is like insulation on the outside, while visceral fat is like termites eating into the frame from the inside. So what's happening here, when you drink something sweet, whether it's real sugar or artificial sugar, your tongue sends signals to your brain that sugar is coming. Your brain then tells your pancreas to prepare to release insulin, but with artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, or saccharin, no real sugar arrives. Your body is ready to process sugar, but receives nothing, which disrupts your entire blood sugar regulation system. And here's the interesting part. Recent research from the Whitman Institute of Science shows that artificial sweeteners alter your gut microbiome, which is the trillions of bacteria living in your intestines that help digest food. When this microbiome is disrupted, your body becomes less efficient at processing real sugar. And that's when insulin spikes. And high insulin is a direct signal for your body to store fat, especially around the belly. Fruit juice and the liquid sugar trap. Now, let's talk about what many of my patients think is a healthy choice: 100% fruit juice, especially orange juice. They tell me, "But doctor, it's natural fruit. It has vitamin C and no added sugar." And I have to tell them, sorry, but your liver doesn't care where the sugar comes from. It only sees sugar. A 12-ounce glass of orange juice contains about 26 grams of sugar. That's nearly 6.5 teaspoons of sugar. And there's no fiber to slow down absorption like when you eat a real orange. The Women's Health Initiative studied over 13,000 postmenopausal women and found that each additional glass of fruit juice per day led to a weight gain of 0.39 pounds over 3 years. That might sound small, but That's nearly half a pound per year from just one glass of juice, and most people drink more than that. Here's what happens when you drink orange juice in the morning on an empty stomach. The sugar gets absorbed extremely quickly into your bloodstream because there's nothing to slow it down, no protein, no fat, no fiber. Your blood sugar shoots up like fireworks on the 4th of July, and your pancreas has to pump out a massive amount of insulin to control it. After about an hour, your blood sugar crashes, you feel tired and hungrier than before you drank it, and your body is now in fat storage mode because of high insulin. Remember, insulin is like a key that unlocks your fat cells, and when insulin is high, those doors are wide open. And for older adults, this is even worse because we already tend to be more insulin resistant as we age, meaning our bodies need more insulin to do the same job. Adding fruit juice in the morning is like pouring gasoline on a fire. But here's what's really scary that most people don't know. When you drink these beverages in the morning, you're not just adding a little fat here or there, you're reprogramming how your body processes food throughout the entire day. Research shows that what you drink in the first 30 minutes after waking sets your metabolic rhythm for the next 12 to 16 hours. If you start with a sugar spike or artificial sweeteners, you're telling your body that today is a fat storage day, not a fat burning day. And for those of us over 60, we can't get away with these mistakes like we could at 30. Our metabolism slows down by about 5 to 10% per decade after 40, meaning the same drink that might not have affected you 20 years ago can now cause you to gain 1 to 2 pounds per year. Do that math over 10 years and you'll have an extra 10 to 20 pounds, most of it around the midsection. Coffee with sugar and cream. Now, I'm not going to tell you that coffee is bad, because actually black coffee can be very good for you. But the problem is what you put in that coffee. A large study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed over 100,000 healthcare workers for 24 years and found that those who drank unsweetened coffee lost weight over time, but those who added sugar to their coffee gained weight. And here's the critical part. Even 1 teaspoon of sugar, just 4 to 5 grams, was enough to reverse the weight loss benefits of coffee. Think about that, just 1 teaspoon. And if you're drinking one of those sweet blended coffee drinks like a Frappuccino or caramel macchiato, you're looking at 300 to 400 calories and 50 to 60 grams of sugar. That's more than a meal. I had a patient, she was 67 years old, named Margaret, who came to me because she had gained 15 pounds over 2 years and couldn't understand why. She told me she was eating the same amount of food, exercising 3 times per week, but the weight kept climbing. When we looked at her diet in detail, I discovered that she had started drinking a Frappuccino every morning about 2 years prior because her neighbor invited her along. That was it. That single change, a 16-ounce cup every day, added nearly 400 calories and over 50 grams of sugar daily. In 1 week, that's 2,800 extra calories, nearly equal to 1 pound of fat. Multiply by 2 years, and you have 15 pounds. When she switched to black coffee with a splash of milk, her weight started dropping without changing anything else. The role of cortisol and stress. There's another factor we need to discuss, and that's cortisol, your stress hormone. When you wake up in the morning, your cortisol is naturally high because that's how your body wakes you up. This is called the cortisol awakening response, and it's normal. But when you drink a beverage full of sugar or artificial sweeteners on top of that high cortisol, you're creating a perfect storm for belly fat storage. High cortisol tells your body that you're under stress, and when you add high insulin from sugar, your body thinks there's an energy crisis and starts storing fat as if you're preparing for winter. And guess where it stores that fat? Right around your belly, because that's the most accessible place when your body thinks it needs energy quickly. Research from Yale showed that women prone to stress have more belly fat even when they're not overweight, and the main link is cortisol. When cortisol is high for prolonged periods, it doesn't just store fat, but also breaks down muscle, slows your metabolism, and makes you crave foods high in sugar and fat. It's a vicious cycle. Stress creates cortisol, cortisol creates belly fat, and cravings. Cravings lead to eating more creates more belly fat, and more belly fat creates more stress about your body image. Breaking this cycle starts in the morning with what you put in your body. So, what should you drink in the morning if all these things are bad? Here's the simple answer that my patients are often surprised to hear. Water, plain filtered water, or if you want a little flavor, add a slice of lemon or a few mint leaves. After you've had 12 to 16 ounces of water, about 15 to 20 minutes later, you can have black coffee or green tea if you like. Black coffee and green tea can actually help burn fat because they contain caffeine and compounds called catechins that boost your metabolism. But the key is no sugar, no whipped cream, no syrup, nothing but the coffee or tea. If you absolutely need a bit of sweetness, 1 teaspoon of real milk is far better than sugar or artificial sweeteners because at least it has a bit of protein and fat to slow absorption. And if you're hungry in the morning, don't drink your calories, eat them. A breakfast with eggs, vegetables, and some avocado will keep you full 10 times longer than a glass of juice or sweet coffee, and it won't cause the insulin spikes that make you store belly fat. I've seen hundreds of patients lose 5 to 15 pounds just by changing what they drink in the morning. Nothing else. No extra exercise, no strict dieting, simply stopping drinking belly fat into their bodies every morning. Mary, another patient of mine who is 71 years old, had been drinking 2 cans of Diet Coke every morning for 15 years. She switched to filtered water with lemon and black coffee, and in 6 months she lost 12 pounds, and her waist circumference dropped 3 inches. She told me she couldn't believe something so simple could make such a big difference. So, if you're serious about losing belly fat, especially the dangerous visceral fat that surrounds your organs, start by looking at what you drink in the first hour after waking up. Drop the diet soda, drop the fruit juice, drop the sugary coffee, and give your body what it truly needs. Clean water and possibly some caffeine from black coffee or green tea if you like. Your body will thank you, your waistline will thank you, and your organs will thank you. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends and family so they can also learn how to avoid these belly fat causing drinks. And hit the like button so my video gets recommended to more people, and subscribe to the channel so we can meet again in future health tips. Let me know in the comments what you usually drink in the morning and whether you're willing to try this change for 30 days to see what happens. I'm Dr. Saul Whitman, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay healthy.